I'm Insomniac, and this is Big Bang from Peet's Coffee. Okay, so today we are looking at Big Bang Medium Roast from Peet's Coffee. We've done at least a couple of other Peet's Coffees here on this channel. I don't remember which ones, but anyway, this is another one that was sent in. Here's the bag. Kind of funky looking. I don't mind the black and tan thing. That looks pretty cool. Otherwise, it is what it is. On the front, you have Medium Roast. It gives you a little bit of an idea of what they think the tasting notes should be. And not unlike a lot of other bags, you have your brewing tips. It tells you about their commitment to freshness, that type of thing, where it's made. Apparently, this is Berkeley, California. I didn't know that. There's a good amount of stuff that you could, I guess, read while you sip on the coffee. That's a lot more than I could say for quite a few coffees that I've reviewed recently where it's just a label slapped on a bag. And by the way, it wasn't as lopsided looking and sloppy as this when I got it. I've actually opened this and wound up drinking about half the bag at this point, being that this was kind of further back in line, so that's the only reason why it looks like this. This is not the way it came, and it definitely wasn't that sloppy looking. That's from handling it. Here's a look at the beans. Alright, so a pretty good looking roast, plenty of reading material on the bag. Let's see what this smells like. Well, the first thing I noticed is it's really sweet. And you have like a fruity sweetness. It actually reminds me of ocean spray cranberry juice. Like cranberry juice, it's possibly too sweet, but it makes the cranberry juice actually taste good. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, sweet cranberry or cranberry juice is definitely the first aroma. And damp, mossy earth. Those are actually very nice aromas together, especially from a coffee. Alright, so we're going to brew some of this up in the French press. Let us get some of this ground up and pressed, and let's see what it smells and tastes like in liquid form. Alright, so we brewed up some of this Big Bang with the French press. Let's see what it smells like. Very chocolatey, but also very hazelnut-y, which is not exactly a word, but you know what I'm talking about. Which, of course, then reminds me of Nutella. It smells like a chocolate hazelnut spread, so Nutella. The only other strong aroma I'm getting here is beans, but not like you hear me describe in a lot of other reviews. I don't think I've ever gotten this before. It's refried beans like you get at a Mexican restaurant. I like Nutella, and I like refried beans. I don't know how I feel about them together, but of course that's not what it tastes like. Those are two separate aromas that I'm getting, so I guess it's pretty cool. Alright, well, let's see what kind of flavors we get. The main combination of flavors here is dark chocolate and kiwi. Yeah, like a really rich, like something 65% or more cocoa, like one of those Lindt chocolate bars that most kids probably don't want. If you were to melt that down and put it on slices of kiwi, that's mostly what this coffee reminds me of. Then you also have a lot of earth, a big, bold, rich earth flavor. On the sip and on the finish. It really lasts well into the next sip. And there's a really, really tiny bit of bitterness to it, especially at the finish, but it's more of like a mineral type bitterness like you would get if it were a heavy mineral rich earth. It's not exactly what it reminds me of when you take the sip, but that's kind of how it resolves. Almost no perceptible bitterness though, is what I'm saying. And overall, I do like the profile. It's really simple though. The flavors are very bold. That dark chocolate covered kiwi and earth thing, but that's all you get. But at the same time, it's kind of like, but do you really need any more? Because that's a really great flavor profile. So yeah, I'd say this is the best Peet's coffee that I've reviewed. Don't take that as he said this is the best Peet's coffee there is. First of all, I think I've only had maybe 3 of their coffees. This is the best one that I've reviewed. And I can't say that it's my favorite coffee, so then you might be confused by the out of 10 score that I'm going to give it, which is about an 8.5. It's pretty simple for me. The body's great. The flavors and aromas are really good. I really enjoy the combination of flavors and aromas that I got here. And it's simple, but not one-dimensional simple. You get more than a couple flavors to sink your teeth into, but at the same time, it's not something that's so complicated and delicate that you really have to try to concentrate for half the cup to figure out what exactly you're drinking. It kind of lands somewhere all the way in the middle. It gives you good flavors that are big enough and bold enough and easy enough to pick out that you could enjoy without having to be some kind of coffee connoisseur to get it. So for me, that lands at a pretty good score. Yeah, definitely like this Peet's Big Bang French pressed. Pretty good stuff. If you've had it, definitely leave a comment. Let everybody know what you thought of this coffee. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see a lot more coffee reviews. I have some other coffees lined up here coming up for review soon. You're always welcome to send coffees in. The email is shouldidrinkthis@gmail.com, and I can tell you where to do that. I almost poured that in my lap. That would have been interesting. That's it. I'm going to get back to enjoying some coffee, and I'll see you all at the next one.